Hey guys, so it's hard to know where to start this episode other than it has been pointed out to me that my absence has been noticed. Well, I really wish people would have, like, I don't know, inboxed me or said something on social media instead of waiting for me to call. And you all know who you are. It's time for an update. It's time for an update because those people who choose to wait for me to call apparently need an update because they're concerned about my well-being. So, no, I have not posted a video since I did the video about my dad and all of that. And yes, it's a very dark piece. However, I have been in a better frame of mind, and I've been in a more self-centered, self-reflective. I'm not brooding, which is good. But the other thing is that I'm doing more things that are better for me, and COVID has not made that process a very speedy process, because one of the things that I really wanted to do is that I wanted to redo my entertainment center, which before was basically just a single drawer and a shelf. And it was really unusable, very unfriendly, and one of the things that I realized is I was spending an awful lot of non-productive time in building up the habit of not being productive in the office. So I decided to make this, which is my living room, more user-friendly. So places that I could eat, places that I could sit down and watch TV, and all that happy jazz. The problem is that because of COVID, as we all know, it's hard to get, like, shopping done and supplies done. And while I do have these two new units that are my new entertainment center, and that which is my new bookcase, I'm still waiting on pieces to come into the place that I've ordered my furniture from, so that I can get other pieces done so I can put things in closets, because I'm using closet space for storage, and it's really deterring me from wanting to get filming done because nobody wants to look at anybody else's really dirty house. You probably haven't seen it, or maybe you have because you've been looking for it in the background. For those on the DL, and there's all of, I think, 2 of you, there's a new addition to the house. We did lose Apollo about a month and a half ago. I did have to put him down. He was starting to have some seizures. His quality of life had taken a turn in the course of several hours. And so sadly, I did have to put him down about a month and a half ago. And so house-wise, there is just York's butt. Hello, York Burnison. Hello, York Burnison. Would you come say hello to your people? Hello, peoples. Hello, peoples. Peoples. I'm York Burnison. Panzer Bjorn. This is Mommy's finger. It would seem that Kona is in his cube and he doesn't want to talk to anybody because he's mad at his mommy because I won't give him out time. For the second reason. By the way, York is fine. He's just napping. This is the second reason, and I have to change the camera angle on this, so forgive me. This is Miss Duchess Cappuccino Chiara. Hi, Princess. Hi. Hi. She's the new addition. And right behind the camera is Miss Brooklyn. Hi, Princess. Hi, Duchess. She is not necessarily that familiar with the camera. So that was about a month and a half of hunting, And the reason I have Duchess is because Brooklyn over there was displaying some very separation anxiety behavior. A lot of meowing, crying. It was getting kind of destructive with her behavior while I was gone at work. So I had considered getting a kitten and just getting any old rescue kitten, but I have done a lot of rescue kittens and half-breed kittens, and like I said, I'm getting kind of a selfish, a little bit narcissistic, but I really decided of all the pets that I've had, I've always really wanted a Siamese, and so I got myself a Siamese. And so she's a little steel point Siamese who is absolutely in love with my shoelaces and is kind of a king tard on any given day. Sorry for all the camera going back and forth, but I'm trying to do this without editing, so we're moving on. So, new entertainment center and rebuilding the living room, so I'm spending less non-productive time in the office. There's another reason why there's been a gap. Okay. And it's not been for the negative reasons that everybody thinks, because the last video I posted was kind of dark. Alright, it was really dark, I'm not going to lie about that. There has been video production, as you can see. But there's a hiccup that I found, and it took me watching, and I'm going to put some links to some other channels. Not that anybody who really watches my channel gets to this point, but you guys can check out what I've been watching that's kind of made me reframe my thoughts about my art and getting in a healthier mental state about my art, being more productive in the office. And one of them is a channel called Lucid Pixel. The guy is a digital artist and he's an art teacher, and he does an awful lot of psychology into art and artists and why artists do the things that they do and unhealthy behaviors that artists have, and I have been guilty of more than just a handful of them. And one of them has directly to do with this channel, and I've complained about my habit of doing this before, and that is watching the frickin' counters, and watching the view counts, and watching the subscriber counts, and sitting back and brooding really badly about what I'm doing wrong, that new videos aren't getting hits, and old videos are continuing to do well, but I'm not really changing. I don't have a formula, so if it's just the subjects, it's just the subjects. But that is a really bad habit, and he covered that and a couple of other things, and internalizing things that artists do. And I took kind of a note out of his format style when I did the Project 1144 videos, because I really wanted some of what I've learned to kind of bleed through and be able to process that onto my viewers and my friends, and so that they understand where mentally I've been. But it has not been all mental. It's been a lot of kind of self-growth and me kind of refocusing why I'm doing my art, and why I have this batshit crazy room of just... I mean, it's some people are lucky to just have like a workbench and a few art supplies, and I sit in a really gratefully very well supplied studio, and I struggle to get my artwork done. I'm not inspired, I'm brooding, and I'm dogmatic, and I really want to get out of this. Okay, so Lucid Pixel is one of the channels I've been watching. I've also have been watching, I think it's Rafi's here. He's an artist in Florida, and it seems that he's kind of an independent artist. He doesn't do a whole lot of commissions, and him and his wife Clee do a lot of the art show circuit, and he doesn't teach. Neither one of these channels teach art, but they're both interesting in the way that a lot of artists write in and they ask them their questions, and it's kind of a conversation rather than, let me teach you how to draw a circle. This is a circle. We're going to draw a lot of circles because y'all need to get busy about being really good at drawing circles. And it has made me very reflective in the content that I'm putting on my channel, and whether or not did I make a channel to answer people's questions about how to draw things, or did I make a channel just to gain recognition for my art. It's become very interesting, and why I'm so focused on my views and everything. And Rafi had a really good point of, if it has become dogmatic and you're not enjoying it, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and stop doing it until you figure out the reason to do it. Which is why after 1144 I sat back and I decided to not publish right after that. It's not that I didn't have pieces in the works. I have quite a few videos sitting on the computer that are sitting without anything other than visual context. I didn't know if I wanted to keep going with tutorials. I didn't know if I wanted to make more personal commentary about whatever was going on in my day, or if I wanted to make more social commentary. And part of the problem with doing the latter of the two and not making it art tutorials is that because I'm still employed, anything that I say that could be considered work related, or I could be reflecting on the company that I work for, can be reasons for getting fired. Because I've known a lot of people who have YouTube channels or have posted stuff on social media that have gotten fired for making controversial opinions on their social media, whether it's YouTube or Twitter or whatever, and they've lost their jobs. And I don't want my job to be risks about my personal opinions versus a company's views, which is why I've never been public about where I work. I want the kind of fun that I have with my art, my personal opinions, to just kind of be my own personal opinions, which in this day and age, that's not really a thing, and it's made me really uncomfortable about wanting to post about anything other than the safe virtual realm of, this is the business end of a paintbrush, and this is the color green, and you mix this with this green, and it makes this texture, or it makes this color. That seems to be the safe realm, and I've had some debates about whether or not I want to continue staying in the safe zone, or if it's okay for me to come out of the proverbial closet and just be myself. I've had a lot of people just say, relax and just be yourself. It's okay to be goofy, it's okay to be you, but I have seen some Karens really go off and pick apart these smallest little things, and without even trying, I've already had people come after me for my job about what I do on the side, be it photography or whatever, and they've made up some wild stories and some wild accusations that have nothing to do with my professional job or my photography or my art. They've just had a bone to pick, and somebody in their circle started some shit. And so they came and decided to use me for it. I apologize for the parkour that's going on behind me, because it goes on for hours, which again has been another reason to... She went in the other way. Oh God, you're so dumb. It's been another reason for me to want to refrain from posting on social media, and made it harder for me to come up with content. I don't necessarily consider myself a teacher of art. I find art teaching exceptionally boring. I paint drawing. When I'm at work and I'm at my job, I have other people that I can bounce ideas off of, and other people that when I'm super caffeinated and I feel like being a sass, that I can say sassy things for, and then somebody starts laughing and the ball starts rolling, and then it's off to the races, and I am on, as they say, some shit. And as the night side now says, the fucking begins, and then some people are really having trouble just refraining from spitting their drink all over wherever they are, or not laughing, and not laughing while they're waiting on customers, because customer perspective is very important. And but it makes work more enjoyable. Unfortunately, in the studio, I don't have that. And when I'm by myself, I definitely don't have that. And when we're talking about art, listen here, art is boring. It's really, really painfully boring, and it's hard to be funny when we're talking about the business end of a paintbrush. Because this is the business end of a paintbrush. This is the business end of a paintbrush that doesn't belong on your fucking paintboard. But, business end of a paintbrush. And, yeah. So, there's that. So I've had trouble kind of sitting back and contemplating what I've been doing. Why I'm doing it. It's not for lack of doing anything. In fact, I was oh so thrilled when these things went on sale, again, because I do this every year. And then I come up with to-do lists. And I come up with crazy things like, what was it, Drawtober? And I was like, I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna post 4 videos this year. Just this month. 4 videos. It's gonna be great. I can do this. And then my #1 YouTube fan had something very tragic happen to him. I didn't find out about it until mid-October, along with planning for a wedding for a coworker, and dealing with the zaniness that happens when you have a coworker that's getting married. And my parents are being interred next week. So it's kind of hard to be in the right headspace. At the beginning of October, I was like, I'm going to do this. And then, well, the good news is that I got this much done. And after speeding it up to an obnoxious amount of speed, it winds up being like 20 minutes worth of video. Even though that's like 4 hours of painting. And that's really not all of the stuff that I've been working on, because thanks to my 3rd channel that I've been watching, and that's Jazza, or Jazza Daily. I think it's just Draw with Jazza, or Jazza. And he's an Australian artist. And the guy is... Jazza is like how I am at work. Which is... I'm trying to figure out how I can be more like I am at work, which is way more entertaining and way more fun. And I watch what I say a hell of a lot less at work, because I'm not worried about my coworkers on YouTube. But that's all he does. He doesn't have a corporate head that's worried about their brand name, or, oh, you employ this person. So it's really hard for me to be able to, or for lack of a better phrase, to unclench thine editorial asshole and have a little fun on the internet. Because I'm sorry, I am afraid that if I get a little too obnoxious, and my sense of humor is not necessarily politically correct, and I say things that are easily interpreted as hate speech, so it's meant in fun, and so that aspect of my personality, while it's very much enjoyed and it's very much adult humor, I can't do that on the internet because the internets are evil and they judge you a lot. So back to, I'm still trying to figure out how to make that more fun. One of the things that I have found out with watching Jazza, anyway, is you see that mount up there, and that mount is for this camera. Well, that mount has the small problem that the only monitor for this camera, when it's mounted way up there for this down here, it's completely out of my eye shot. And so I noticed in editing and when I'm drawing is that I've started to get anxiety, and that anxiety has gotten super, super bad. Is my hat crooked? I keep looking at that. I have noticed I've started to develop some real severe anxiety while I'm filming, because I don't know if what I'm filming is actually on camera or if it's off camera, and I start to be more concerned about the shot that I'm making rather than the art that I'm trying to enjoy. That's become a real severe production problem. And I noticed that Jazza actually has a separate monitor that comes out of his camera that's down by his eye level and not overhead, that helps him kind of track where he is versus where the camera is. So that is going to be something that I need to employ. So that will hopefully be really, really helpful, because there is an easy 5 feet between where that camera is in order to envelop the whole table and this little itty bitty 2-inch monitor that is way overhead and out of sight and out of eye shot. So we're looking to get that fixed, and hopefully that will make production an ass load easier, because it is really difficult. Other projects that have less to do with art and more to do with I'm just trying to find ways to be creative. So they sell these bogus things at Walmart. And a couple of months ago, a friend of mine and I were kind of bonding over how incredibly shitty your families can be. And we had a really crazy moment, and I'm going to see if I can't post a picture over here of our zaniness, because this is the kind of zaniness that happens when I'm with my friends. These are not the kind of zaniness that happens when I'm alone. Teaching you all the business end of a paintbrush. Paintbrushes aren't funny. You're not funny. Don't even tell me you're funny. I want to hear about how you're funny. You're not funny. Paintbrushes are not funny. They can't even try and be funny. They don't even have a smile. Anyway, so we found this Family is Forever thing, and I got it. It was on sale, and then after a couple of weeks of looking at it in the studio, I decided it really wasn't the right family statement. And so I wanted to do something of a more supernatural theme. So that project is a more supernatural theme, and it's going to just basically be a decoupage thing for supernatural, and then just a photo frame of us from the day that we did that. Pretty easy. Still haven't gotten it done. Haven't gotten it done because I've gotten into the really bad habit of coming home, eating there, and then watching YouTube. It's become a really, really horrible freaking habit, and I need to get out of that habit. But there has been some progress. More progress is when I went to Disney Springs, I bought a top hat. I know. There's so many hats that you guys get to watch me in. Like, there's this hat and that hat, and okay, we could do the montage of my hats. Like, we could do this, this, and this, and this. Okay, but I bought a hat. And I bought it from American Hat Makers, and I can probably make a video on this, or a couple of videos on it, but one of the things that I really liked about it is the whole concept that I didn't necessarily have to have just a straight hat that's like my dungaree where it was plain and it was useful. And one of the reasons I like my dungaree is because, I'm sorry, but it keeps my head dry and it keeps my hair dry, my head warm. And it's a leather hat and it looks, well, alright, it doesn't look really nice anymore, but it used to look really nice. Now it looks like my boss sat on it, which he did. Anyway, I digress. I wanted something that's kind of a dress hat, and I know I'm dressed like a Winchester, but whatever. So I went to the store and I started a project. You know, the problem with having like an art and craft hobby is that you spend 90% of your time buying supplies, and then you find yourself like it's like an addiction. You're like, I need some more supplies. So I bought like flowers, because black and pink actually look really nice together. And then I bought some kind of fall themed stuff, and then I bought some blue feathers, and here understand that there's a whole box of stuff that is different trims and stuff for this hat project. And I bought a hat in Disney Springs, and you're gonna laugh because I should know better, and I just decided I was gonna talk myself into it. But when you're a small person like I am, because I'm all 5'3" and 100 pounds dripping wet, I have a small head. And so I can't buy just any old hat. I have to have a hat that's damn near child size. And I let this dude at Chapel Hats talk me into a medium with all the fittings, and it really looked off. Like this one, tight against my head, I can make this hat fit. That hat did not fit, and I had to send it back and have them ship me a small. And now the projects are back on, but there was a whole inch in that hat that they had to take out. This current project right here is a purple satin band that went with this ribbon, and I know this is very Mardi Gras kind of colors, but it was for a wedding that I was supposed to go to this past weekend, and I didn't because I was very concerned about a friend of mine who, for those of you that may stalk this channel but don't actually do anything like or subscribe and just notice the trends on all the videos, you'll notice somebody by the name of Matt that's liked or commented on just about every video, and he's my best buddy. And something very tragic happened, and he got in a very bad accident that I found out about this week. And while he is fine, it took me almost a week to find out and get a hold of him and find out what kind of mental state that he was in. And of course, after you get into a real bad accident, your mental state is sometimes all you have, and in Matt's case, his mental state is 90% of all he has. So that's where we're at. I've got this guy. Probably work on him later tonight. I've got a few other projects in the wings, but it's already October 19th, and I don't think that of my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that I wanted to get done, I'm going to get more than 2 done. I don't even know that I'm going to get 2 done, because this is one of my only days off, and it's already 9:45 at night, and I have yet to edit this. So, for those that may be concerned, or are wondering where I've been, what's been going on, part of it's been there's not really a whole lot of traffic on the new content that I post. Part of it's been me just deciding to allow myself time and space to consider what I want to post, rather than posting because if I don't post, I'm not going to get views. And that's probably for the best. Just post when I'm comfortable to post and I'm inspired to post and I have something to say. Rather posting because I have to post and I have to keep content up. People don't really inbox me on Facebook as far as art inquiries. I think there's been maybe one request for a video, and it was on penguins. Of all things, y'all wanted me to do penguins. And that was right around the same time that my dad got real sick and passed away. So the penguins, I don't know if the penguins are going to be a thing. Somebody's going to have to let me know in the comments if y'all really want me to do penguins. I mean, penguins? Somebody asked me something about black horses, and it was an in and out question. So I had black horses on my to-do list for October, and that turned into a Palomino horse. Actually turned into a Halflinger colt, which is the painting I was working on. But I want to get into less copy and paste kind of art. I want to get into art that actually stimulates my brain and I get to be creative with it. It's not copy, paste, and Photoshop kind of art. So that's where I've been. I am working on editing. I am working on some art. I do have little creatures yet. Trying to figure out where the other littlest, newest creature is. Where are you? Duchess! I can hear her, but I cannot find her. That's Brooklyn. Duchess! Oh, god damn it, this is cute.
Why are you sleeping in there? Why are you sleeping in there? Brooklyn, she's sleeping. Huh? Is it time to go for walkies? Huh? Is it time to go for walkies? Huh? Walkies? Hmm? Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe it's time to take the kids out for a walk and then maybe I'll get some artwork done. It's a thing. I'm still trying to find a groove to this kind of COVID lockdown. Try not to get in your own head for too long kind of space. She's so cute. She's sleeping in the buggy. Yeah, and like legitimately, that is a pet buggy. I bought it because I wanted to go outside and actually legitimately go for a walk when the weather was nice. And somebody who is fat and spoiled, but we won't mention any names, didn't necessarily want to go for a walk, and I wanted to specifically go to like a park because I play Jurassic Go. And so many friends that play Pokemon Go, I'm playing Jurassic Go because there's way too many Pokemon and that's ridiculous. But she didn't want to walk and I wanted to go, and we both wanted to spend time outside. So the negotiation was to get the buggy, and she got to ride and I got to walk, and then we got to go to the park and she got to sit on her fuzzy little butt and I got to enjoy my drink in the sun and play Jurassic Go. And that was the negotiation. And now it's fall and in a few weeks it will be snowing, and so the buggy is inside. And apparently the kitten is going to sleep in it. So it's a thing. So I'm off to get some work done because tonight's one of the few nights that I actually want to get some work done. Even though I look exhausted. I want to get some work done. But that's what's going on, and so now you have that, and you have this entertainment center behind me, and it's kind of fall themed, and I don't know if the content that I'm working on is going to be posted. We're just going to take it a day at a time, okay? Talk to you later. Bye.